everyone, and welcome to Doctor Who. So it's been about 2 weeks. This is 4. It's been about 2 weeks since I last watched Doctor Who, and that one was probably the best episode of the season so far, with Jack being back, Time Lords, Gallifrey, another Doctor, the Jadoon, so much happening in that episode. And then last week's episode, I didn't react to it because there wasn't a whole lot going on, and it was an okay episode. The major thing I wanted to talk about with last week's episode, just to get you all caught up on my feelings about everything that's going on. The major thing, I think that was revealed. I don't know if revealed's the right word to use, but the major thing that happened, I think, in that episode was Yaz and her ready to just jump into action, which was very interesting because, you know, we've seen her, she definitely admires the Doctor a lot, but it seemed like she was really pushing that episode and she was jumping into danger a little bit like Clara did. So I'm curious to see where she's going to go and how much she'll jump into danger and if that will cause consequences to happen. I don't know. But yeah, that's everything. I'm just mainly curious on that. The rest of the episode was okay. They focused too much, I think, on the side characters rather than our companions. And I think that's one of the main problems that has been with the last 2 seasons. So I'd like them to focus more on the companions this episode, but we'll see. Let's get on with Season 12, Episode 6, titled something. We'll see in a second, I guess. Or I might skip okay. I need a, yep. Oh no, it's a cold open. Fuck. Shit.
He'll be here tonight. Rest well, Dyer.
Okay. Mystery monster. Holy shit!
Don't struggle.
I like the way that they're... is that thing?
Here we are, Sheffield. Is it the right day? It's the right day. In the right year? The day you asked, in the year that you asked, at the time that you asked. You are home. Oh, okay. Not the exact right time. 77 minutes hour. Late. What?
You sure you're gonna be alright? Right?
Need no reason.
Finally, a bit of peace and quiet.
Oh, what?
What's that?
What?
Location for that noise. 1380. Welcome to Syria. Now, they're not here, are they? You guys go this way. Oh, who am I supposed to share all the interesting stuff with? Someone there?
Oh.
Friendly visitors.
Holy shit! Why are the monsters so scary this season? Same. What?
This is what he did to me.
He who?
Help me, Greta. He's close.
Last few days, I've been having nightmares, and there's this block in them. It keeps recurring, like he's watching my dreams. The guy that's in your dreams is in your room. Come there, you laugh. Look at me. I'm not laughing.
Still think about it. Do you? I dream about it sometimes.
Dreams. It's gonna be that guy that was in the TARDIS. My Kevin Lannister for creepy. What is this horror movie that I'm watching? I hate this.
Sybil!
What is your name? Dyer. Someone's targeting us. Do you have any idea where those planets might be?
You get me an A to Z of the universe, and I'll be able to stick my finger straight up. No, I've got no idea.
Better idea.
Oh,
TARDIS
Graham.
circuits. We found something. We're moving. But where?
Oh, that's really cool looking.
Is there someone in there?
The woman. Yeah.
Is it you?
That's it.
That orb. It's a prison, and she's locked in there. Fed by that signal. Signal of what, though?
But who is she? And why is she
Where's
there?
Tahira?
She go off explore.
The Trigascus. Your worst fears, my creativity.
There she is. Oi, freakans! Get away from her.
Oh, that's not good.
Where's the doctor?
I won't be calling anyone. No point. You're weak. You run. Nobody's coming yet.
So what? Where you been, man?
She old.
Waited for you. You said you'd be back. The place is burning. What place? Earth. And you weren't here.
Oh no. No. I already know what this is gonna be. I hate it already.
Why am I
Shut
listening
up.
to this?
Why do they keep torturing this
Right.
brilliant man?
Hey, Mr. O'Brien, why didn't you save me? Let me try again.
Oh my god, he's like a... Oh.
Now, for most people, a quantum flux lock is unbreakable.
Seriously, you're not...
Are you transmitting nightmares? Taking nightmares from humans and forcing them into the mind of a girl you've trapped between planets?
I've seen many races, Doctor.
Your prisoner, she's free. I used your own technology against you.
He doesn't seem too worried.
I used your instincts against you. This platform is my technology. I didn't make this prison. She was always the more powerful of us,
Ah, damn it.
the more dangerous.
I don't understand. Let me make you. Two creatures from another realm descended into a universe where they were worshipped as gods. Which of them could bring a planet to destruction first? The gods set to their game, sowing chaos through the populations.
What are we getting here?
Very deep in all our memories, built on the lie of the timeless child.
Who's the... She know?
Right, think this will hold me, do you? Now listen to me. Earth is not your plaything. You're wrong about humans. They're not pathetic. They're magnificent. They live with their fears, doubts, guilts. They face them down every day and they prevail.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Thanks for lending a helping hand.
Really?
I couldn't resist. You made my nightmares real. Now you can live with them for all eternity. Yes, God's back in their box.
You know when you'll be back? Not sure. Don't make it too long. I need my best mate. I went to the supermarket just so I could talk to the cashier. Get back to human contact. But I got there, and it's those self-service checkouts. I haven't said that to anyone before. Felt like it was just me. It's not just you.
Hitchhiking? Yeah. Just taking in the view.
when she became a cop.
Breaking the law, am I? People are worried about you. No, they're not. Your sister is. That's why she called us. She's worried you've left and are going to do something stupid. Terrible thing about being older is you have all this experience and nobody ever wants to hear it. What if this moment where you want to run away from everyone, including yourself, is just that? A moment. Look me up in 3 years. If I'm wrong, I'll give you 50 quid. I mean, I'd say more, but the pay's rubbish. Get another job then. Can't. Love it too much. You won't remember me. My name's Yasmin. Can't. I flippin' do remember you.
Oh, that's so
Wanna come in?
that's so sweet.
The thing is, Doc, I worry about getting sick again. You know, the fear is still there. You know?
I should say a reassuring thing now, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm just going to subtly walk towards the console and look at something. And then, in a minute, I'll think of something that I should have said. That might have been helpful.
Oh my god.
Okay. How long is this gonna last, Jazz? Hanging out with the doctor.
I don't know.
Is this our lives? Going from one place to the next, ignoring home. One we go.
So this is a weird way to start this afterthoughts ramblings of the video, but I thought I would explain what's going on. For you guys, I just got done watching the episode about 2 seconds ago. For me, it's been about an hour and a half. When I got done recording and reviewed all the footage, I was listening to my after rambling thoughts, and I realized I didn't really like them. I only talked mainly about the end of the episode and my predictions for the following episodes that are to come. And I didn't talk about the character moments we had this episode, or the villain, or everything in between. I didn't talk about that when I thought I should talk about them. So I'm re-recording the afterthoughts, and I even wrote things down this time. Look at me, writing things down twice in one season. Who am I? But, you know, the interesting thing is for the past however many minutes I've been trying to record this intro, which you are watching right now, and it hasn't been going well. I've been stumbling and fumbling a lot more than normal, and I thought it was interesting because it kind of ties into 13 this episode and the thread that she had of her being very socially awkward the entire time. So I thought I would kind of explain my situation and be like, oh, look at that, we're both on the same page. However, I see myself very much right next to 13 because her mind is going a mile a minute all the time. And that's kind of how my mind is when I'm doing these rambling thoughts. It's from this point, this point, this point, this point. So we're seeing a million things at once. I get that with her. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the episode now because that's this part of the video. And I thought I would talk about the ending first and then talk about everything that happened because the ending weirdly will allow me to talk about the story threads that we had this episode. But the conversation with Yaz and Ryan very much felt like a possible setting up the companions leaving. It reminded me of the conversation Amy and Rory had back in season 7 when they were trying to figure out if they should travel with the doctor or not. And Ryan talking to Yaz and being like, you know, we are changing as people, we're growing up, we're growing older, and the people back home are just going day-to-day life, you know, and he's finally starting to realize that. So this could maybe be a send-off. I don't know if it's for all 3 of them though. You know, Yaz, she seemed like she wanted to stay on board a bit more. So I'm curious to see if it'll be Graham and Ryan leaving at the end of the season and maybe Yaz staying on board, or if it'll be all 3 of them. You know, I don't know what the next 3 episodes hold. That's kind of a mystery. We still have the Cybermen to deal with. We still have the Master to deal with, Gallifrey, all of that. I don't know how much is going to carry over to next season, but it'd be interesting to see what happens with the 3 of them. The overall theme this episode was really it hit me. It hit me good. The thing that I wanted happened. You know, I talked at the beginning of the episode where I said I wanted to learn more about the companions. I wanted to learn more about them and have more of them instead of focusing on these side characters that only get introduced for one episode and they seem more important than our companions when they're not. You know what I mean? I mean, they're important side characters, but our companions, I want to learn more about them, and we got that this episode. We had some heartbreaking and heartwarming moments with all three of them. You know, we had the moment with Ryan and his mate, and them having a conversation, and his mate learning about what Ryan does, and Ryan asking his friend to go talk to people. And I love that message. I love the message of the entire episode was to talk to people, and it's okay, and everything in between. The Yaz stuff. Her conversation with the cop on the side of the road. Oh, wow. Just what a scene. And then when she went back and gave the 50p to the cop, it made tears go to my eyes for a hot second, because it was just so, you know, I can't think of a word to describe it, but it was just so, to me, and I loved it. I loved that moment, and I loved seeing more of Yaz, and I really, really like her as a companion. I want to learn more about her, and I just want to give her a big old hug. I want to give all three of them, I want to give all four of them a big old hug. What am I even saying? Graham, with his nightmare scene, they played freaking dirty when they brought Grace in. I knew as soon as, I was like, oh, that's probably going to be Grace, and it's going to be a whole thing. And it was a whole thing. You don't do that to that lovely, lovely man. He is a teddy bear, and you just want to hug him. You just want to hug all of them. And the fact that they played dirty with that was a little bit mean. Actually, it was a lot mean. But still, the scene when Graham was talking to the doctor at the end and basically pouring his heart out to her, and her just going, yeah, I don't really know what to say right now, so I'm just gonna go over here, and then when I think of something to say, I'll say it. So her in so many ways. It was very funny. The villain this episode, Kevin Lannister, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but Kevin Lannister was the villain, and he did a good job. His conversation with the doctor on the ship, they were on a ship, right? That's what that thing was, the little triangle weird thingy, was especially interesting, and I liked this scene a lot, and it was menacing. And the freaking fingers, why does it have to be fingers? Why couldn't something come out, like a needle or just anything else? Why did it have to be the fingers? It was gross. The werewolf looking creature reminded me of the creature that was in Tooth and Claw. I think that was the episode title name back in season 2, episode 3 or 2. I think it was episode 3 or 2? I think it was episode 2. It reminded me of that a little bit. The defeat of the two immortals was very quick, and I was kind of taken aback by it. But I thought the idea of it was cool, and the way that they showed the backstory of the two villains was cool and interesting. We don't see them use drawings or use that stylistic choice a lot, and the fact that we got that was a little bit jarring, but in a good way. What else this episode? We also have a recurring theme, I think, with all of these episodes so far, and that's a theme of dead planets. In the first 2 episodes, Gallifrey being gone was something that was heavily focused on, obviously. With number 3, we had the possibility of Orphan 55. Number 4, we had that line whenever the villain was talking to the doctor saying, have you ever seen a dead planet? Number 5 was, again, Gallifrey, everything in between. Number 6 was, a civilization clashing. There was a dead planet where that girl was running from. And this episode 2 with Ryan having that nightmare about the Earth going up in flames. So there's a reoccurring theme of dead planet or abandoned planets or the collapse of something. So I'm curious to see what the next couple episodes will entail. You know, we have 3 left this season, I think we have 3 left this season. I think it's 10 episodes just like last season. So I'd be curious to see what else we're going to do. We still have to have the Cyberman plot. We still have to have possibly Captain Jack coming back with the Cyberman plot. I mean, come on. There's no way that they had him for just that scene and then not have him meet the Doctor. Then we also have the Master to deal with. You know, he was a loose thread. There's a lot of loose threads. We had a moment where the Doctor was in her own memory or in her own nightmare, it seems, and she was standing and we saw the same shot essentially, but the Doctor looking at it. My question, does the Doctor remember that? Like, does she remember what the Master is talking about and just choosing not to talk about it right now, because we know that this Doctor especially doesn't like to open up or talk about anything with anyone? So is she actively avoiding it by going on all of these adventures, or is she just not remembering or forcing herself not to remember quite yet? You know, I don't know. It's interesting because the look on her face seemed like she knew, or it just seemed like, I don't want to know this right now. Like, no, like, not right now, that sort of thing. I don't know. But yeah, I thought the overall message for this episode was handled really well. If you've watched my Doctor Who reactions in the past, you know that I have opened up about mental health a little bit and have talked about how important it is. And I thought the way that they wrote this episode was great. You know, it wasn't directly in your face. The message was brought across, but in a clever and interesting way. And I am I don't know, I just really like the episode and how they did everything. And I'm excited to see more moments with the companions, hopefully, more moments with the Doctor and everything in between. But yeah, that's everything. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you all so much, and I'm so excited to watch the next few episodes with you guys. It's about to be jam-packed, so much is going to happen, and I'm really excited about it. So that's it. See you guys next time for more Doctor Who. Look at this non-fumbly outro, even though my voice is starting to go. I can feel it a little bit. I've been talking for a while. So enjoy this slightly gravelly is a good word. Gravelly outro from me, the person you are watching on screen right now, because you guys, okay, see, I've tried to do a normal outro and then it doesn't turn out to be a normal outro, but when is it? Who cares? Normal's boring. Weird is great. See everyone. See you next time.